Here's a riddle for you. What has a head and a tail, but no body? This riddle is a classic example of a word puzzle that can be both intriguing and perplexing. When we think about it, we may imagine all sorts of creatures and objects that could potentially fit the description. However, the answer is not always immediately apparent, and we may need to take a closer look at the details of the riddle to unravel its meaning. At first glance, the riddle seems to be describing some kind of animal. After all, many animals have a head and a tail, such as cats, dogs, and horses. However, upon closer inspection, we can see that the riddle specifies that whatever it's describing does not have a body. This immediately rules out most animals, as they are typically composed of a head, a tail, and a body. So what else could the answer be? Perhaps we should consider other types of objects that have a head and a tail. For example, a coin could be seen as having a head, featuring a portrait or design, and a tail, usually featuring a number or other symbol. However, this interpretation may seem too literal and simplistic to some. After all, a coin is just an inanimate object. How can it be said to have a head or a tail in the same way as an animal? Another possibility is that the riddle is using a metaphorical or abstract interpretation of the terms head and tail. In this case, we might think of something like a story, which has a beginning, the head, and an ending, the tail, but no physical body. However, this interpretation may still feel unsatisfying, as it doesn't quite fit the criteria of the riddle. After all, a story is not really an object with a head and a tail. So where does that leave us? Ultimately, the answer to this riddle may depend on how we choose to interpret the terms head and tail. If we take them too literally, we may struggle to find a satisfactory answer. However, if we allow ourselves to think more creatively, we may be able to come up with a range of possible solutions. Perhaps the answer is something that we haven't considered yet, such as a kite, a key, or a punctuation mark. Answer is a coin. That's right, coins have a head and a tail, but no actual body. It's just one of the many interesting things that you can learn about everyday object.